And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Highside Hustle right here on the National Racing Network. My name is Bert Wojcik. Alongside me is Adam Rubright. Producer Chris Graham is with us here. And boys, we did it. We are racing officially in central Pennsylvania here. And wow, what a night it was to be able to race here at the Lincoln Speedway there. I know, Adam, it wasn't the best race we've ever seen at the Lincoln Speedway, but we did get to see a lot of fun, a lot of great people, a lot of fun down there. But it was just so nice to see some 410s rip around the Lincoln Speedway finally.
You are 100% right. I mean, it was racing. I got to clear my nostrils with racing alcohol. I got to drink alcohol with people that I haven't seen since the National Open. And yeah, other than that, it was a good time as per usual. I like the hat, by the way. It's an interesting choice for tonight.
Oh, thank you. Yes, the TNN hat here tonight. Found out one of my best purchase here on eBay, by the way. But anyway, yes, exactly. That was some of my quarantine money going right out the window there. Anyway, Chris, I know what we talked about last week here is that we were going to have we weren't going to see any racing here, but we did. I still can't believe that we got to see a little bit of racing down at the Lincoln Speedway. Again, I know it wasn't the best, but racing's racing.
I guess I should hit the button so I can talk to you guys.
You should turn your mic on.
Really.
Might be a good idea.
Let's go.
Attaboy, there.
Anyway,
but hey, before you dig into it, while we're on the subject of best $20 purchases, muck boots. I will.
Okay.
That was the greatest thing I could have ever possibly bought myself before I left the house on Saturday.
Here's what I will say about that race at Lincoln. There was potentially more excitement getting out of the parking lot afterwards than there was inside the racetrack. Yes. And I am of the who gives a damn contingent. It was racing. It was cool. It was a ton of fun. The pictures out of the infield were spectacular. It reminded me of an F1 race from the 70s at Watkins Glen. It had everything but door banging racing action. I'll take it.
Well, it depends where you look at. There was a little bit of door banging there at the end there between Kyle Moody and Matt Campbell there. But I think of it more as like Woodstock in the 70s. That's what I look at, with the mud and the people in there. I want to know who the poor dude is who had to take the poor dude home that was slip sliding in the infield. I sent the video in our group chat here. The dude slip sliding through the infield was having the time of his life. Oh, I want to know the poor soul that took his ass home. I feel so bad for their interior.
Yeah, that was priceless. But also, can we make it mandatory that before we even get lap 1 of the first heat race, we just immediately go to red flag, just so maybe we won't flip a car? Because it seems like every year, opening lap of the heat race, somebody flips in turn 1 and 2 every year.
Well, hell, I remember, a couple years ago, Brandon Raymer flipped first lap of hot laps. On the icebreaker.
We should just do hot laps, and then right before the green flag comes out for the first heat race, just immediately throw the red.
Is there a contingency of some sort available? Like a first poor schmuck to flip? And you just go out and claim that couple $100?
Probably. I mean, hell, Stevie Buckwaller would get that award fucking 6 years in a row because he has the worst luck on icebreakers ever.
Yeah, I felt bad for Steve there, but he did get back out for the feature, though. He did get it back out for the feature, and
yes.
Let's get into it here with the. Yeah, that's all he needed was just a top wing, I think. Other than that, the car was a pretty soft roll, but Saturday was a very, very weird day, I thought, because...
by the way, boys, here real quick, we're, 90 seconds in, and we've already got our first F-bomb, so we're well on our way.
Where that came from.
Me? Me?
No, never you. Never.
I don't even recall saying such a thing.
And we're off the rails already, folks. Welcome to the Highside Hustle. Anyway, let's get into Saturday. As I was saying, Saturday was a weird day in a way, just because obviously you had the snow in the morning. You didn't know what was going to happen throughout the rest of the day, and where it was going to, what it was going to do to the track. Obviously, you had an idea. Fred was having the track sealed over pretty tightly, and you know, you were predicting 50-degree weather. I mean, when that sun was out, it was beautiful. I mean, the track was, it dried out nice, and I think, you know, if the cloud cover didn't come in, I think we could have seen a little bit better race and help the track slick off a little bit more than what it did. But still, for all the moisture that was in the track from it, from the snow melt from the past week, the rain that we had on Thursday, Friday night, you know, it's a lot of moisture in the track. But hats off to Fred Putney, Brian Jones, and all them down there at the Lincoln Speedway. They did a hell of a job trying to get the track in, and great job by Scott Gobrick, Abel Clark, Mike Hefner, all the promotional guys down there at Lincoln too. They did a hell of a job in getting that place race ready to go on Saturday. Hell, they had a whole, Jerry Parrish too. They had a whole crew down there shoveling Lincoln off on Thursday and Friday afternoon to get that place ready. And that was a hell of an effort put out there. They got 3 hours, a lot of ice out there from what I was told, but they were able to get out there. We came out there first heat race on Saturday afternoon. There it was a little heavy there, but you know, you look back here at the last couple of years, the Lincoln Icebreaker, you either have somebody good up front or you have that kind of surprise out of nowhere type guy. And we had the surprise out of nowhere type thing happen because a lot of the bigger guys like Freddie, like Danny, they drew like hell. They did not drew good at all. And that really affected them, Adam.
It really did. And that's as to be expected on wet, heavy racetracks like that. You can't expect to start last in a heat race on the first heat race of the year when the track has all that moisture still in it and expect to go forward. However, the only one who really made it like a decent march in the feature with the track conditions was Schaefer, showing speed in that 72 already. I believe he was 24th to 12th, so a plus 12 charge. That's quite impressive for how that track was. I was also really, really pleasantly surprised with how Matt Campbell looked in the 21. He looked really good until, maybe 8-9 to go. I think he hopped whatever of a cushion was there and got himself all crossed up and lost a couple spots. But he looked really good all day.
Well, we watched that too, and I think that was him and Moody kind of going for the same real estate. From my input or vantage point in the infield there, it looked like him and Moody were going for the same spot of real estate there. Didn't work. They were able to save onto it there. Of course, the middle fingers from Beer Hill go flying, of course, you know, the Beer Hill car, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, of course, you know. But no, that's what happened. There was a racing deal. I went up and talked with Matt afterwards and Kyle too, and they both said it was a racing deal. No harm, no foul there. But still, it was it was still just an amazing amazing to see how this race can really benefit the little guys too, as we were just saying here before, where you had some of these bigger guys like Matt, or smaller guys like Matt Campbell moving over to the 21 car, new kid in that car. So it's going to be, you don't know what you're going to expect out of it. He did pretty good with it last year for the couple races he was in it, but still brand new deal there. And then you got guys like Timmy Gladfelter. Great run for him. You know, these early season races here, before we get into the results here, these early season races really benefit these little guys here because, you know, they may not have the long run car towards, you know, when you get in the dry slick tracks, or they may not have that kind of experience. But on these wet, heavy racetracks that are hard to pass, this is awesome for them to be able to get that experience up front and see what it's like maybe running that clean air, and then maybe try and find ways to work in that dirt when that dirty air comes about later on in the summer. Maybe be able to see what that's going to be like a little bit later on down the road, Adam.
Yeah, I absolutely agree 100%. I mean, everyone's fighting for that clean air, and if you're not up front, you ain't getting it unless you're somehow like, I don't know, a Daytona break off where the top 10 are a half a straightaway or longer ahead of another car, but whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, let's get into it here. Sorry, go ahead, Adam. Sorry, go ahead.
It's like you said, it's refreshing to see the little guy, get a good run to start the season. I mean, heck, Wagaman broke a 6-year winless streak. That's incredible.
Yes.
I've been there. I know what it feels like as a crew member to go that long without a win, and the amount of emotion that you get when you finally get that monkey off your back. Like I know how it felt, and I'm just super pumped for Tim and the whole gang.
Absolutely. And now let's talk about a little bit more about the feature here, because the way Tim went and won this race here, he started on the outside of Kyle Moody. Kyle Moody led the first couple laps till the first yellow came out. And then Tim went where no man was going to win it all before. He did the...
Oh, my God.
So yeah, Adam, it sounds like let's bring the two of us up here. Bert disappeared. I don't know if he went full potato or if he just turned his mic off here. But whatever the heck Bert just said, oh, there we go. He knocked his microphone out. So let's do this. Let's get the comment up, because Don Greeby's checking in. Are we cracking cans tonight or what? Because it's latte time when we go feature racing on iRacing. What do you think, boys?
I got some water.
Yeah, and still no Bert. Bert, we can't hear you. So disconnect yourself and reconnect. All right, let's do this. Adam, what do you think? Let's get the commercial break out of the way here real quick. And
works for me.
We'll let the potty queens. Oh, look at that. He's here.
Oh, there he is.
Well, here you go, boys. I'm going to leave you live because we have a new promo for a very special event that we'll be broadcasting 4th of July weekend. You don't want to miss it. Let's get the promo and a couple of commercials out of the way.
Okay.
This Independence Day weekend, kick your party off with a bang. DeWeather Center presents the first annual DeWeather Cares Charity Softball Classic, presented by the National Racing Network. The Palmerton Boobies, DeWeather Center Bluecocks, Blue Mountain I-95ers, Pocono Front Platers, Schuylkill County Crackers, Reading Nurses, Catasauqua Blue Tits, and Beltsville Lake Monsters will take the field in Emerald. Find out more on Facebook at DeWeather Center. DeWeather Center, offensively accurate. If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. At 600cc Performance, our roots run deep in CC racing. A leader in fuel injection, dyno tuning, wiring, and diagnostics. With over 15 years of experience in building and tuning, you can count on us to get you to the winner's circle. Whether it is diagnostics, sales, or service, 600cc Performance is your source for everything CC racing. Find out more at 600ccperformance.com.
heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the most original show here on Facebook, the Highside Hustle here. My name is Bert Adam, everybody. Sorry about the little technical delays. My dumbass knocked the mic right out of my computer. So,
why are you apologizing for a
content
technical delay? You got to see and experience a piece of artistic and cinematic masterpiece.
That was fantastic.
Yeah. I want to join that. I will play. I don't even care how much of an ass I make out of myself. I will play in that.
Well, we are School County practice, so we have to be
here's
on
something
that team.
cool that's going to go along with that. The 8 teams that are involved are all raising money for individual charities. And then we're going to, during the broadcast, do a fundraiser for Riley Children's Hospital here in the Lehigh Valley. So we gave a bunch of money to Riley Children's in Indianapolis already. We're going to keep some money at home here. So you'll be able to donate on the broadcast July 3rd, by the way.
That's fantastic. Good to hear. Great. Doing
it.
great stuff here for Riley Children's Hospital. Actually, I didn't even know there was one here in the Lehigh Valley, so that's even better. So anyway, let's get back to where we talk about Lincoln here for everything, went haywire here. We'll start out with the start of that race.
Before you decided to go potato?
Yeah, well, yeah, I entered the Potty Queen Studios. Yes, that I love to do. Anyway, so we started with Kyle Moody and Tim Wagaman on that front row there, and then Moody was looking pretty good on the bottom side, but then you had that restart there. I want to say around lap 13, I think it was, and Timmy Wagaman, he went where no man could go at all during that race. He went high side hustling through the top side and made it work, and he did some beautiful, beautiful driving to keep it up on the cushion and to get around Kyle Moody, which nobody thought that was going to happen, and that was just a great piece of driving by Timmy to be able to do that, which really was the race winning pass there, Adam.
It was, and it happened on a restart, which you're definitely not expecting because the leader has all of the momentum going into turn 1, except for that particular instance. And like you said, went up and above where in absolute no man's land and somehow came out of 2 with the lead. And I was awfully impressed with that entire sequence there. Yeah. I mean, and then I think maybe 5 more laps, Moody might have had something for him in traffic because I think Kyle was a little bit better in traffic. But other than that, as soon as Timmy got the lead, he was gone.
Yeah, no, it was really a good piece of driving by Timmy to drive away there. And he did really well in lap traffic, too. I thought for a couple instances there, lap traffic was really going to hurt him, but he did a really nice job making it through there and just kind of easing back when he had to not really make contact with the lap cars there and to really hold his own there because it was hard to pass no matter what you did, where you got lap traffic or not. Slower cars were just not your friend there. But let's go. You fast forward a little bit here to about, I want to say maybe about 8 to go then. And that's when Matt Campbell started to show his nose a little bit here on Kyle Moody. And Campbell had a really fast car. He really did. And if there was maybe a high side
really good all day.
Yes, he did. If you had more of a high side up there, maybe you could have got that thing up maybe closer to the middle, that second groove going. We might be talking about Matt Campbell getting his first win in the 21 car because he was really strong there. Yeah. But unfortunately, he made that contact with Moody then. Like I said earlier for the break, 2 guys going for the same piece of real estate. And it just kind of – it happens. It's a racing deal. What are you going to do about it? But that dropped Moody back – or excuse me, not Moody. It dropped Campbell back, and that allowed Timmy Gladfelter and Alan Crimes to get around him, which – There you go. You got Timmy Gladfelter who picked up a win, I believe, back in 2018, at the end of 2018 or 2019. Picked up a Lincoln win down there. And then you have Matt Campbell, Brown and Crime too, who's probably going to be in this fight for the Lincoln Track Championship because of how consistent he always is. He always draws so well at the start of the season there. That's really where it starts out here. Freddie and Danny not having a good start to the season. Alan Crimes, if you're going to capitalize on going after an Early Lincoln Points Championship, it's got to start right now.
Yeah, I agree. And out of really the predominant cars that you think of when it comes to Lincoln, Alan Crimes looked the best out of anyone there. He also had the best pill draw out of anyone there. I mean, hell, Danny pulled the worst. Yeah, Danny pulled the worst pill you can in the bag and ended up pulling off 4 laps into the feature. realized,
Yeah,
you know
something like
what?
that. Freddie did early
maybe
too.
Maybe it's not worth tearing up my shit for the same amount of money that 16th place gets.
Yeah, not this early
You
in the
know,
year too. I mean,
save it. Yeah, exactly. Save it for next week. Live to fight another day.
exactly. You live to fight another day here, and we got two big races coming up here this weekend with both Lincoln and Port Royal opening up. So a lot of excitement building around that. But it was just so good. As we said before here, congrats Timmy Wagaman. He'll be on the show here in about 5 minutes, along with Kyle Moody. He finished second. Timmy Gladfelter third. Alan Crimes and Matt Campbell rounds out the top five. And that was like I said, I posted this on Sunday afternoon. You saw that too, where the top three, they're all underdogs. Kyle Moody did not have a great year last year at Lincoln. Tim Wagaman teamed up with Travis Esch at the end of last year and really has made something going well with this whole 5W team here after running his stuff for a while there. And they have really become a strong team, also becoming Lincoln's most improved driver at the end of last season here.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, who doesn't love an underdog story? First off, I mean, plus refreshing faces. You get tired of seeing the same people win all the time. But hey, while we're at it, and before we get Tim on the line, anyone have any questions for him that you want to hear about? Drop a comment in the bottom so we can read it, and we will get to it.
Good segue, buddy. Good segue here. So
hey,
anyway, folks,
segue
so we
Sally
will
tonight.
Dynamite drop in, Monty. Broadcast school really paying off for you.
yeah.
Oh, I love it. So
the fucking
all
school
right,
of
folks,
hard knocks over here.
And yes, why not? What the hell? What else we got for other cliches? Anything else, folks? Anything else? No? Okay. I tell you what, let's do
I
this.
think we're good.
Let's take commercial. All right, let's take a commercial break here. When we'll get Tim on the line here. When we come back, we announced it back on Sunday night here that the Lincoln Icebreaker winner would be right here with us on the Highside Hustle. Tim Wagaman will be joining us coming up right here next on the Highside Hustle.
At 600cc Performance, our roots run deep in CC racing. A leader in fuel injection, dyno tuning, wiring, and diagnostics. With over 15 years of experience in building and tuning, you can count on us to get you to the winner's circle. Whether it is diagnostics, sales, or service, 600cc Performance is your source for everything CC racing. Find out more at 600ccperformance.com.
This Independence Day weekend, kick your party off with a bang. DeWeather Center presents the first annual DeWeather Cares Charity Softball Classic, presented by the National Racing Network. The Palmerton Boobies, DeWeather Center Bluecocks, Blue Mountain I-95ers, Pocono Front Platers, Schuylkill County Crackers, Reading Nurses, Catasauqua Blue Tits, and Beltsville Lake Monsters will take the field in Emerald. Find out more on Facebook at DeWeather Center.
to Weather Center, offensively accurate.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Highside Hustler. Bert Wojcik, Adam Rewright, Chris Grammer, our producer here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we announced this on Sunday night. He was going to be on the show here, and he picked up a huge win at the Lincoln Icebreaker this past Saturday afternoon here. Ladies and gentlemen, driver of the 5E, Tim Wagaman. Tim, congratulations, buddy, on getting your first win down at Lincoln in, 6 years. How's it feel to get that first win off your back in such a long time, man?
Oh, thanks, guys. It's been 6 years, 6 long years, and we showed a lot of speed here for the last year, couple years, especially last year. But it feels really, really good. You almost forget what it feels like, and once you get there, it brings back some memories and makes you feel pretty good. Absolutely.
Let's talk about the way your race went here. I mean, obviously, Saturday was all about that pill draw and how you guys came out of the gate there, and it started out, good heat race for you, and then, the feature time, you went where no man could go anywhere, and that was up on the high side there to get around Kyle for the win.
It definitely starts with a decent pill draw there to start the day out, and you want to get into the redraw. That's your main goal, getting there, and obviously staying out of trouble, getting into the redraw. And then, having a pretty good pill draw for the feature definitely helps. So, the further up you start, the better off you are in a day show there. And, it's one of two things. It's either going to be really, really slick, or it's going to be, super fast. And we got the super fast one this time around.
Yeah, I'd say so. You looked awfully good pretty much all day. So while we're on the subject here, how did the deal between you and Travis Esch come together? I believe at the tail end of last year.
It was actually at the beginning of 2020. End of 2019, I guess it was. Beginning of 2020 is when we started. I just called him out of the blue. They were looking for a driver, and I believe there was a bunch of people calling him, and I just asked him to go out to dinner. We kind of hit it off from there, but. It seems like it's a pretty good deal, and we get along very well, and we're just trying to make the best of a great situation.
The old wine and dine them. That's how you get them, buddy. That's how you get in those 410 rides. But hey, let's talk a little bit about your 2020 season. You picked up the most improved driver down at the Lincoln Speedway last year, and for a year that was so tough to really get going with the pandemic, and then we got back racing. It was just everyone just started racing all at once here. 2020, I mean, to be able to be called Lincoln Speedway's most improved driver with all the talent that came in there and what have you, that's got to be a pretty successful year, I would believe, from that point of view anyways.
Yeah, sure. We had a really, really good season. It didn't start out as good as I would have liked, but that's growing pains. We just tried to make the best of it. I kind of screwed up here and there to, where I didn't make the best decisions, as far as a driver goes, I guess you would say, whether I didn't make the invert or didn't make the cut, or we missed it by one spot in a B main, or, we're in a B main and I blew the left front off the thing just because I was trying to get into the feature, but we had a lot of ups. There was more ups than downs, and that's what you always want.
Yeah, absolutely. And what does your 2021 look like here? Are you going to be sticking with Lincoln mostly? We're going to be seeing you traveling a little bit here. Well, are you going to be just racing Saturday nights? What are you looking at here?
I think we're just going to try to stick to the Saturday night deal. And then after that, it's just as the schedule permits. I do a lot with with baseball and stuff like that. So my son plays pretty competitively. So there's tournaments every week. So we, last year we missed a race because of it, and it probably cost us a top 5 in points. But my kids only grow up once, and it is what it is. But I think we're going to try to do the every Saturday night thing this year, and then hit BAPS is what we have. Right now we have about 35 races on the schedule. I'd like to get up around 40 if we can. So, if we keep racing well, maybe we'll race a little bit more. We just only time will tell, I guess.
So Tim, growing up, who was your idol, so to speak, that got you into racing?
So I was going to the races as a an early age. So I always liked like Bobby Allen and Sammy Swindell and guys like that when I was younger. And then my dad married Jeff Rohrbaugh's sister, so um, I was able to grow up like directly right there. So he had the biggest influence on me, and that's who I first started helping. He's the one that got me my first ride, and I was hooked after that. So I blame everything on him.
Tim, what do you think about, Lincoln, what they've done down there with the track here? I know there's a lot of competition in Central PA with all the races you got going on here, but what's it about Lincoln? I know obviously you're down in Hanover area and how close it is here, but Lincoln just seems like there's something special about it that you don't see like at the Grove or Port Royal. What is it about Lincoln that just draws everyone down there?
I think it's just because it's that short track mentality. You got, you're so close, whether you're in the infield or you're in the stands. I mean, everything seems so close. The racing's close, where sometimes at the Grove or Port it gets a little strung out. Great racing everywhere, but I think it's just because it's so close, and everybody's everybody is racing, and there's action on the track everywhere you look. So I think people really really like that, and they did a really really good job over the winter at making some improvements, and last year as well. So I think it's only gonna get better.
What was your thoughts on them racing on Saturday? Because I think there's a lot of people that weren't sure that this was going to happen, but yet I think of the diehards and a lot of people had a feeling that it's Lincoln, it's the icebreaker. They're itchy, and the drivers are itchy, the fans are itchy. This is going to happen. What was your thoughts going into last week here that we were going to race? 'Cause I think some guys like maybe it kind of hurt the car count that they weren't thinking they're going to race by the way you looked at the forecast, but then obviously we end up getting the race in.
Yeah, we were complaining about it the whole time, all week long, and we get there and the pits are like just a muddy mess, and there's water running through the pits and stuff, and we're just complaining like it's easy to do, you know what I mean? But we were very happy to be back at the track. It wasn't cold, it was a nice day, and came out, and the car count wasn't as good as what I would have liked to see, but you still had over a full field, and you really can't complain about that.
Yeah, that is for sure. So obviously we know you run the smaller track in Lincoln. Have you ever in the past run the bigger tracks, and if so, which do you like more, the big fast half miles or the tight little bull rings?
I've always liked the bull rings. I mean, when I ran 358s, we ran Trailway faithfully every Friday night, and in my opinion, there was no other track better than that. And then we'd race Lincoln every Saturday. So it was a short track thing for me for a long time, just because they're both in my backyard. But we've raced at the Grove and had some success there, and I'd like to get to Port a little bit more, but you really got to dedicate some time to that. And it's when you drive past a racetrack to get to a racetrack, that's in my opinion, it's that's not real fun. So Lincoln's about 5 minutes from my house, which is nice.
Oh, hell, you can't beat that, man. But, hey, you sit on their track there at Trailways. And, that's a great little track for a lot of people to be able to cut their teeth out there and really just grow and learn. I don't care if it's in 358, 600s, they're really growing on it. The only thing I got to say is they do got a rock problem, because I did have a rock go through my window last year at the 410 race. But still, the whole place is still a great little facility. And I think that it's a hidden gem that we have in Central PA here, and I think it kind of goes under the radar a little bit, don't you think?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've been on those guys for a couple of years now to try to have more 410 shows, but they think that
definitely
that'd be fun. But I think they think that it's having that one big race a year. It draws fans, and they want to keep that people being excited about it, which I can totally agree with. But me being selfish, I would love to see them race more 410 shows, and they don't get enough credit over there. I can tell you that. I mean, they've always got a bad rap for for their Friday night 358 stuff, and I don't know why, because it's really, really good racing over there.
Yeah, and we see with the
Even if
410s on how good the racing is there. Every time they're there, it just seems like they put on a really good show. Sorry, Adam, go ahead.
even if they did it like twice a year, like once in the beginning, once
Yes.
towards the end, like that'd be great, because like the fans get the 410s at Trailways more often. You guys get to race there more often, because it seems from everything that I've heard, all of the 410 guys enjoy going there, because most of them cut their teeth there. So it's always nice to go back and, they get that big fan count that they probably wouldn't normally get on a regular weekly basis.
Sure, I think that'd be fun. I'd love to see them do something like that, but it all takes a commitment from everyone. So, I'm sure that they want to see more cars get there. I'd like to see them get 40 cars each time, but it's
Yes.
you just don't know.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that hopefully they can. That's one thing I've always said about this race. That I think they can promote it a little bit better, bump that purse up a little bit, maybe make it a $5,000 over the race, because that could be a huge show down there. Sunday afternoon, August. You normally get some good weather for it, and like I said, it's a great place where a lot of people cut their teeth at. But let's switch back here a little bit now. What is you got your first win here in 2021? What's the rest of the season looking like?
Like I said, I mean, we're gonna hit as many shows.
I'm sorry.
at
Let me
Lincoln
see
as we,
your goals for the rest of the season. That's what I meant there. Sorry, the lattes are
No
kicking in.
problem. The goals are just to be consistently fast. I know that once handicapping starts and stuff like that, we might not, depending on how the next couple weeks go. I mean, we might not get to start up front or anything like that for a bit. But if we're consistently fast and driving to the front, that's one goal of mine for sure. Staying out of trouble, just trying to just keep gearing up towards having one of the better teams in the state, I guess you would say, or in the area. That's a major goal for me. We want to continue to build and keep elevating our team.
Yeah, for sure, and that should be the goal for everyone. To just consistently get better, consistently prove yourself on the track, and just have fun. Because if you're not having fun anymore, what's the point? Like we all started going to the races as kids, to have fun, or most of us ended up playing in the rocks with our toy cars. But in the same aspect, the racing is. It's always about fun. If you're not having fun, why do it? Like I said, and as long as you're having fun and having good, consistent rides, then do it as long as you possibly can. That's the way I feel about it.
Sure, you don't know how long you're gonna you're gonna be able to do this. I'm well over owning my own car or anything like that. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity that Travis has given me to continue my career on. Hopefully I have a few good years left in me, and we can, continue to rise and be one of the better teams, like I said, in the area. And just try to click off a couple more wins, some top fives, some top tens, and just, and that's kind of where you're at. I mean, you get to a point where you have a good top 15 car, and then you got a good top 10 car, and then a good top 5 car. So we want to be in that top 5 as much as possible.
Absolutely, Tim. What does this early season shake up of the top three? Because I said it's on Sunday when it came up here. It was you, Kyle Moody, Timmy Wagaman, Alan Grimes has always been good there, but Matt Campbell, he's another kind of an underdog there. New ride with the 21 car. What does this say about the state of the sport with some of the underdogs and younger guys, kind of dominating the field? I know Saturday. Yeah, it wasn't the true Lincoln racetrack that we're all used to there, where you can go slide jobs, it slicks off and all that. But it's still got to say something. You were there at the end and made it happen here. But it's got to say something for where the sport is right now, where maybe some of these underdogs can go up there and fight some of these guys like Raymer, like Dietrich, like Grimes.
Yeah, it takes a lot of luck for these draw shows, but at the end of the day, you got to be fast enough and consistent enough with your laps to to be able to end up top 5, top 3, top to win, to top 10. I mean, some guys didn't even didn't race too hard, and some guys like Tim Schaefer, drove up through the field. So, you just got to make the best of it. Any situation, every guy's on the same track. So whether it's slick to the curb or it's, hammer down fast, I mean, everybody's out there at the same time. So, you just do the best you can.
Well, Tim, I tell you what,
like
we're going to let you go because I know. Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, you hit on it perfectly, Tim. Everyone has to race on the same track, so either make the best of it or pull off. Because I mean, grab your opinion on it quick before you get you out of here. But if you're running, say, 24th, like Double D was there, pays the same up to 16th. And with how the track was, I mean, Tim Schafer is the only one that I can think of that really put a big move on like that. Why risk it? Why risk either hurting a motor, tearing up a car over someone's stupidity or, just a racing deal that goes the wrong way? If you're not up front, is it really worth it to keep carrying on throughout the feature?
There's two sides of that story. I mean, you're there racing, whether you have 2 laps or 20 laps or 30 laps on your motor. I mean, you still have to do the same maintenance. So you can look at it that way. You still got to wash your race car. You still got to, but in the same regard, I mean, it's no point going out there and tearing your stuff up for, like you said, to run from 24th to 16th is the same pay. And then it jumps up like $20 a spot, which, in my opinion, isn't enough. But, you really got to make some big strides to make some money. And, it's tough if you're out there riding around and you're not passing anyone, it's not fun. So, why do it and put yourself at risk of tearing some stuff up or anything like that? So I don't blame, the guys that pulled in or anything like that. I mean, their fun meter was pinned probably when they pulled a bad number. So, it's, you lick your wounds and you come back next week, and next week you may draw better and or the track might be a little bit different, might be a little wider. So that way they could advance a little bit quicker.
Absolutely. Good job. That was a great question, Adam, there. And Tim, you said about there too with the payout there, and we'll leave it off of this one here too. I always ask the drivers whenever they're on here, and especially the Western PA guys, and we had Mike Maresco on from up in New York a few weeks ago with the modifieds. But the pay structure in Central PA, it's almost like, why would you race anywhere else? I understand, from 24th to 16th, doesn't pay that well, but still, you look at what the top end pays and what it pays through the field. It's definitely better than what it is through a lot of parts of the country here. But what's your thoughts on the pay structure we have currently here weekly in Central PA?
It's definitely getting better. We like you said, I mean, we have it pretty much, it's better than anywhere in the country. So, obviously we're the ones that are, are silly and, overspend, to get what we need or what we feel we need to be the best out there. But, there's teams out there that have unlimited budgets. So, if they spend 60 grand on an engine to go run for $3,000, I mean, it sounds silly, but everybody's doing it. And, it's a double-edged sword there. I mean, I think that the pay structure should continue to go up as the general admission goes up, the pit pay or the pit admission goes up. It's got to continue to go up just like everything else. I mean, fuel prices go up, rubber prices go up, and it's nice when we get a little bit of a kickback with that.
Absolutely. Well, Tim, we're going to get you go to bed here since you say you're quote-unquote an old man here. It's past your bedtime. We thank you for staying up with us, bud. Congratulations on the win here. Who do you got to thank for your big win there on Saturday night?
I got to thank all of my sponsors. I got to thank Travis, and we have Griffith Plumbing Services, Caden Valley Farms, Hanover Door, Livingston Lawn Care, Just for Jacks, Freedom Off Road, Jacoby Transport, Kistler Racing Products, Dryden. I know I'm probably forgetting one or two, but without all of those people, I mean, we couldn't do this stuff. I mean, it's a blessing. So I'm very happy and thankful for the opportunity that Travis has given me.
Absolutely, and we're thankful that you came on the show here tonight. But congratulations on your big win. I hope we talk to you a lot more throughout this season here. Best of luck this year, and like I said, we'll be talking to you probably a lot more. Thanks for coming on tonight, buddy.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Have a good one, bud. Take
Thanks,
care.
Tim.
There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Wagaman, your winner of the Lincoln Icebreaker there, and finishing up his week of media tour, basically, Wing Nation, everything under the sun here. But, of course, it's always good when you're able to give these small low buck guys a chance to really get their name out there and show them off. I don't care how many times you're on, how many times you answer the same question. Anytime you're able to get them on, have a little bit of talk, give them some of that exposure, and also the main thing is get their sponsors out there. That is, if you get those sponsors out there, that's what they're in this for. And I don't care how many shows are on. I don't care how many, whatever they're on. Just have them, get their sponsors out there, because those are people that support the sport, and hopefully get Tim a little bit more money down the road here, so we can see that 5E up in the front a lot more.
Absolutely. I mean, without your sponsors, we're nothing. Like, I've dealt with it firsthand with helping Colt. By the way, who said he texted me a little bit ago, and he said our drink count is a little low. So thanks, Colt, wherever you're at. Yep, there you go. No, I'm currently not drinking, so.
Attaboy. Anyway,
yeah.
But,
some
H2O
I always, friends.
I love when we get some of these little buck guys on, because we always ask some of the bigger guys about what they think of the pay structure and all that. And when we talk to some of these lower buck guys too, and like Tim brought it up there at the end, that was a great question too, Adam, about whether you pull off towards the end of the race or, if you're not moving well. But I also was thinking in the back of my head, if you're a younger guy, you may want to stay out there a little bit to get some experience, to get some all important seat time. But yet, in the long run here, it's better to save your equipment there. That was an excellent question from you there, and he nailed it on the head there. It's all about why being worth there to go out there and tear yourself up.
Yeah, it really depends on the situation. Like you hit on it there. A young kid, probably just wants to get laps. Doesn't care where he finishes. Doesn't care how much he gets paid, because 9 out of 10 times the younger kids that are getting into the sport have gobs of money that their parents don't know what to do with, or a shit ton of backing from a lot of different people. Mm-hmm. Or you have the guys like Tim who have been doing this for a while and just really haven't had the best of luck here and there, and then finally gets that good run. But in the long run, that one good run is going to help him sponsorship wise, because he's been on the media tour this week, quote unquote, got to thank all of his sponsors in victory lane. The car's basically a billboard when it's on that big jumbotron at Lincoln, and it's going to be the same here at BAPS in a couple weeks or whenever they get to racing there. It's good for everybody involved when the little guys win, because not too many people know the sponsors of the little guys. You can probably rattle off, knowing you could probably rattle off 5 Danny Dietrich sponsors without even looking at the goddamn car. That's just how it is, because you automatically really. Like the bigger teams, you automatically associate a sponsor just by hearing the name or the car number.
Yeah, it's so important that you have people to remember that, because race fans are so good at supporting the people that support racing. Like I will always use an
Look
example.
At Moose's, dude.
When exactly. Well, I went and used RV 4-wheel drive down to Mechanicsburg. When I went to get my truck done, I went to him because not only does he do great work, but he also does support racing. He supports Moody, Dietrich, the Grove. He has a big billboard down at the Grove. He helps them out. He supports up Port Royal for some different things. Lincoln, he's everywhere in Central PA. And that's the reason why I supported them for a lot of things. And that's what I try and do anymore, is try and support those people that support racing. That's a big thing here on, this whole thing here. But exactly. And once again, thank you to Tim for joining us here tonight. By the way, if anyone wants to get their name out there, help us support the hustle. We're open for sponsorship opportunities. Let us know. We'll get you in contact here. We'll make things happen here, and it'll help build the Highside Hustle here. So, Chris, what do we want to do? Do we want to go in news and notes, or do we want to take a commercial break? What do you think?
I think you've already taken 2 commercial breaks, so you've had your fill. No cookie for you.
Yeah.
I
don't think
I'm trying to help
anyone
you
wants...
out here, son.
I don't think anyone watching really wants to see that Hyper Racing commercial again. Now, granted, it's not the good, saucy one with that really delightful music that we got to hear oh so often at the Tulsa Shootout.
Every 5
But
minutes.
nonetheless,
Shootout.
oh my
Don't
god,
get me
We're not
started
even
on that music.
we're gonna
please.
get. We hopped off that train. We hopped on that train, and we're gonna hop right back off. So,
All right. Well, then let's
news
get
and
into some
notes.
news
Let's
and
get
notes
it
here,
going.
folks. We'll start off on the NASCAR side of things. William Byron wins actually a very, very exciting, I thought, NASCAR Cup Series race, the Dixie Vodka 400 at Homestead. I thought that was an excellent race, honestly. I mean, the
Did someone
track,
say
I love
vodka?
Homestead. Yeah,
Vodka?
vodka.
I
Let's go.
really,
Game on.
yeah. I really like the fact that like alcohol is getting back into sponsoring racing, like especially big title events. I'd love to see it on race cars again. Like, bring back the Copenhagen and the Skull cars. Like,
Well, those you're
Come
not
on.
going to see. You're not going to see those anymore. Obviously.
Yeah,
But
tobacco advertising is about as big of a no-no as you're going to get.
I know,
you know what?
but
I'm okay
still.
for seeing a Busch car again or a Budweiser car like Fred Raymer had back in the day. You know,
Yeah,
Freddie and Brandon.
yeah.
Why not have them break out the Busch cars?
I just,
break out the
I don't know. I don't get it. We can promote alcoholism, but not tobacco use. It makes no sense to me, but whatever. Moving on.
The world. Anyway, let's talk about the race itself here, Adam, because I enjoy Homestead. I think it's a really exciting race, and you know the worn track surface really makes it for that the tires they wear off, and you know when they get slip sliding around, they can make for some great racing, and you know they're up against the wall there. But William Byron did a very very good job on getting the lead at the right time there. But the show was really for that second spot towards the end there between Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., and Tyler Reddick, who. If he had a yellow or could have got around, I think Truex and Larson a little bit sooner, I think it would have been a hell of a battle between him and Byron for that win.
Yeah, I agree, and like you hit on it there, I really enjoy the racing at Homestead. I wish they raced there more than once a year. I really do. Like, not to mention, like you see tweets about from the drivers. For instance, Noah Gragson and Tyler Reddick last week were tweeting about how they were practicing at Homestead and they put duct tape on the crush panel for the right rear.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
ran that thing on the wall until the tape was gone and the crush panel was still straight. That is mighty impressive.
Yeah,
and then you do that at the cup level and speeds are a little bit faster. Like that just makes it all the more impressive.
Yeah, and I think like I was surprised that dirt guys like Bell struggled, but Larson looked like he was in his own there. He looked fine. He finally looked comfortable in the 5 car. It
didn't
like
take him long. I knew it wouldn't.
No, and it's pit stops there. That was kind of his Achilles heel for a while there. The pit crew finally got that together, and they really looked impressive there. So I don't think it's gonna take long for Larson to get that first win, but I do think though. With Byron's win, that was I enjoyed that. That was a very very impressive win for William Byron.
It was,
and I think it might be like kind of a coronation moment for him. Where all right now for how good the Hendrick Young Guns ran this past weekend, you know you had most of them in the top 6 for a good portion. That probably the first stage of that race.
Yeah, and
you also look at Chris Buescher. He had a great car. What the hell happened to him? That 17 car. I thought that was going to be the car to beat for a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know. The Hendrick cars look really good. Larson looks comfortable, like you said. I knew it wouldn't take him long to get accustomed to the asphalt side of things again. Chris is going to crack a beer because, hey, you better savor that one, or you're going to have to leave us unattended for a minute while you go for a beer run.
I just did.
No, to the store.
Oh,
fancy.
Yeah.
That beer run.
Yeah, we don't have to quite worry about that yet, but
because I don't think you want to leave us two numbnuts unattended for an extended period of time.
You guys have been fantastic so far tonight. So, hearing your comment about Hendrick, I find I don't know that you can call it a resurgence because they are defending series champions, multiple wins, the whole bit. Outside of Chase Elliott, that team hasn't done a ton over the last couple of seasons. This could be the start of something very, very cool to get to watch those guys again.
I think you're talking about you can't call it a resurgence. I think a whole team resurgence there, Chris, because as you said before, outside Chase Elliott, Who has done anything on Hendricks? Not many. Yeah, Byron getting a win there. What the? Who the hell is?
There's a couple odds and
Bowman,
ends.
he got a win too.
Yeah, like just a couple odds and ends here or there where they just pick off one, but for the most part, they really haven't done all that much on the side of winning with everyone. I mean, enough with you, Harris. Enough. I have to put up with your nonsense. I have to put up with your nonsense on a regular basis. So, shush.
Cold. Oh,
if I was at the shop and if I was at the shop and we were getting one of the cars ready and I was drinking, I'd be getting yelled at by you because I was drinking too much. So,
I will say this though, it is, as a producer, it's really a good feeling when you say, "Hey, I can walk away and go get a beer," because my hosts are not total screw ups tonight.
And by the way,
it's probably because I'm not drinking.
Either.
So,
well, that makes one of us.
Yeah.
So anyway,
for once, I'm the sober one.
Exactly. Let's roll on here a little bit more NASCAR news. Shane Golobic announced yesterday he's going to also be joining Chris Windom and lands a Bristol Dirt Race Cup ride. So Shane Golobic, we got a couple sprint car guys making their way in here. Could we see a late model guy maybe get an opportunity here? I'm actually more surprised we haven't seen a late model guy beat the car here, but I also think both those guys, Windham and Golobic, I don't know the full details of that, but I think NOS Energy Drink probably has a lot to do with that, guys.
No. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Well, that's a dumb assumption to me, ain't
But
it?
anyway, you stole that from me because I wanted to bring that up, but whatever. Carry on.
Go ahead. Bring it up.
No. Take the lead,
Bring your
my
comments
friend.
up. Bring your comments up.
In a similar vein here, boys, how about the deal that Marcus Lemonis has put up? $15,000 for every truck, $50,000 to win, and then a sliding scale backwards outside the top 10. Personally, I see that as potentially a negative long-term for the truck series, because you just put the price of a full truck wrap at $15,000, regardless of how many viewers you're going to have for that race, regardless of the prestige that goes into that race. You now pay $15,000. You can get a full truck wrapped any way you want it.
Now, is that just for Las Vegas, or is that for the entire season?
It's just for this weekend.
Yeah,
but you've still
that doesn't
set
make
a
a whole lot of
price.
sense.
I mean, hell, if you put Camping World all over your car on iRacing, Marcus Lemonis will send you $100.
Did he say anything about Facebook Live shows?
Will he send me $100 if I put Camping World on the side of my pickup?
I may very well start advertising for Camping World just because.
Because I will remove
I can see a big ass Camping World's banner being right back here.
I will
send me $100.
The stickers off of all of my vehicles and get one of them. I'll get Hockley to make me one of them back window decal things that you can still see through, and just make it Camping World.
If Chris Hockley's watching this, which I highly doubt, because he has some class, reach out, because Adam needs a new back wrap for his window.
Hold on, I'll text him real quick. I'll ask him if he is or not.
We are super classy. I do need stickers though.
Some of us drink real beer though.
My logo.
Oh,
need some.
Bert, I've heard that drinking water is good for a weight loss program. Can you confirm that?
I can, because I've actually
it is.
I have lost weight by drinking just water. So, and I do that every day at work.
Those beers that you're opening tonight.
Oh, listen, I'd rather not feel like I'm full every time. So that's why I like the lattes and not the heavy. So that's just me.
See, for a second there, I thought you were referring to me because I'm actually drinking water. So I thought you were referring to me, and then I realized Bert was drinking Busch Light.
So let's continue with the news and notes here.
Before you interrupt that, which one of the drivers? I think it was Kozlowski. I forget exactly what other road courses it's coming up on, but I guess they were doing a test the other day where like the speed is 108.
Probably
Coda.
Probably
Like it was
Circuit of the Americas.
Circuit of the America.
like a speed of 180 to 35 for one
Yes.
turn. Like people's
that
brakes
is-
are going to be cooked by lap 2.
Turn 1 at Coda is one of the most incredible corners anywhere on the planet. And if you're an F1 fan, let's go. But you head uphill, top speed, and you have to get down to probably 30, 35 mile an hour to make turn 1. You think 7 wide at Pocono is insane? Wait till you see the braking that these guys are having to do. It has dumpster fire of epic proportions written all over it.
Yeah,
Coda's going to be fun.
God. That is a tremendous amount of. How many laps is that race?
Not enough.
Yeah, very true.
Because
but
people
by the
are
way,
going to
boys,
be.
Hockley is watching.
There isn't going to be enough brakes left on these damn cars to finish a feature. Well, the race, stage, whatever the hell you want to call it. Yeah, sorry.
Well, they changed brakes at Le Mans, but
Oh my
why
God!
not
Could you
let's do it?
imagine Cup guys trying
Oh
to
my
change
God.
brakes on pit road? That would be utterly fantastic.
that's the point we're almost getting at here. With how many more road races we're going to do,
Man.
either they got to go bigger brakes, or else we're going to be doing brake changes on pit road.
That's fantastic.
That's
Just
Yeah,
one more
that's-
reason to shoot photography on pit road. If you have a camera that works anyway.
all right. That's enough out of you.
Oof.
Anyway, speaking of
Throwing
Pocono, good
jabs.
thing here, guys. With the state's announcements, it sounds like fans are going to be welcome back up to the Poconos this summer for the doubleheader race up
God.
there with the new bans being lifted and
Mr. Kata,
obviously
let's head to Pocono.
Let's go. And I imagine during the summer it'll probably be increased a little bit more, so I'll probably have more fans up there as well. So also I want to go back to Bristol for a second here because both Austin Dillon and Brad Keselowski have scored rides along with Kyle Busch for the Bristol Dirt Nationals. Again, this is not for the World of Outlaws race at Bristol. This is for the Dirt Nationals coming up, I believe, next weekend. It starts on the 15th. So Austin Dillon's going to be running a late model. I don't know what Keselowski's going to be running. I imagine a late model, I would think.
I would think so.
Yeah, I kind of see. I can't imagine Keselowski going from a cup car to a fucking street stock.
No, but the only one that's going to make a ton of sense from a geometry standpoint would be the late model. I would imagine, based on some of the things that I've been hearing, you're going to see some oddball setups on the cup cars for dirt. They have more flexibility than the trucks do in how they can build the suspensions on the cars. They're not going to look like or drive like late models, but that's one of those that I think that's where the benefit comes.
So here's a tweet that Bob Baracus put out earlier. What they're going to be. Somebody asked him what the rules and specific changes are NASCAR going to allow on the dirt cars. There's going to be no front splitter, screens and coverings in front of the various ducts, body side stiffeners allowed, deck lid hinges, spindle and steering arm assembly can be reinforced, underslung caliper mounting can be modified, debris deflector can be placed on the hood, and a max 18 inches long, 6 inches high. So it's going to be like the debris deflector. I imagine is probably what the trucks run at Eldora. So it's going to be something like that. I would, from what I imagine, anyways. And yes, you're right, Hockley. It's going to be.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
My guess would be probably something that the Cup Series rulebook allows for more changes than the Truck Series book does. You're going to see some exotic stuff show up to Bristol. And quite frankly, somebody's going to hit it and absolutely crush them.
Yeah. And then the following year, that exact setup will be outlawed, and it'll be no fun again. But
Well, you don't know.
I don't know.
Are we going to do this again? Who knows?
I don't know. I sure hope so, but I can also see it
I do too.
turning into a one-off event, and then maybe in another 20 years we'll see dirt back down in Bristol. But I don't know. I sure hope not.
I'll
I
show
hope it doesn't end that way.
my NASCAR nerddom here. 1985, NASCAR came out with what they were calling the LR series of cars. That was meant to run on street courses. When we had the street course explosion of the 80s, when Long Beach was successful, they were running at Indy cars at the Meadowlands. They ran Trans Am in IMSA in Des Moines, Iowa.
Hell, they ran
Everybody
F1 at
had a
Paramount
street
Caesar's
course.
Palace.
Correct. That's one of those that I think this might be that toe in the water. Because you're not going to offer a race to... Actually, here, let's get the comment up.
How much also is it?
Since he's going to... Now that he's tuned in and he wants to run his mouth, let's go. Chris Hockley says NASCAR at the Palace. You're not going to make all of the train wreck arrangements to get the Cup Series at a place like Port Royal or Williams Grove without doing it at a known entity first. Even Knoxville,
True.
Iowa can't handle the Cup Series.
Henceforth, while they're getting the trucks.
Bingo.
Yeah. I
think
the trucks are Xfinity Series at Port. I think, honestly, it's a better track for them. I think Knoxville is going to be a better track than what Eldora's been.
In my personal opinion, I think, like Chris just mentioned, it's a toe in the water. I think you can potentially, years to come, see 2 dirt truck races. One at Eldora, one at Knoxville. I mean, I'm sure Tony's pissed that the trucks aren't going to be there, but in the same aspect, is this all a move because Knoxville can race and Ohio couldn't? Was he anticipating not being able to open Eldora up for fans? How much of
that's a
that
good possibility.
How much of that played into NASCAR's decision to move the truck race?
And put dirt on Bristol.
You never know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe NASCAR is finally waking up and realizing that the grassroots is dirt racing, or your local asphalt track on a Friday, Saturday night. Maybe they finally opened their eyes.
The problem for NASCAR is they've committed themselves to the concept of a 36 race schedule. 38 weeks they run when you count the Clash and the All-Star race. NASCAR used to run 70 to 80 races a season. Prior to 1972, they were barnstormers. Richard Petty won a race
won 700 races.
on something like a 2/10 mile racetrack that was probably smaller than that. You're talking about tiny. Picture the Cup Series at Lanco, Linda's Airport.
Bowman
That's the
Gray,
kind of places
which
they used to run.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bowman Gray, I would like.
Yes.
I'd love to go see a race there. Like,
yes.
Do they race when we go down for the finals? Are they racing at all that week?
I believe they
no. Bowman Gray.
We went there.
Go ahead, Bert.
Go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead.
No, we went there back in for the World Finals just to go check the place out back in 2019. We went over to check the place out, and they had it set up for football because that is a football stadium during the off season. I believe one of the community colleges down there at D3 school, they use it for football.
One of the historically black colleges and universities, Winston-Salem State University, that is their home field. They cannot run a lap at Bowman Gray Stadium while college is in session. So their first opening weekend is typically Memorial Day, first weekend in June, kind of around that time span. And they're done by the second week of August.
Yeah.
You've got a really narrow window. However, we've talked about our crazy road trips. I'm down. I'm piloting the bus on that one.
I am all for
I wouldn't even...
Actually, Chris, they are actually the Hayes Jewel 200, which is one of their crown jewel races, April 17th. It's on their website.
Really?
Yes, April
I would
17th.
Load the
is
bus. Let's
is
go.
their opener.
I wouldn't even want to
And
go
then
down
April
for like.
24th,
I wouldn't even want to go down to like do a show or anything like that. I just want to go down and enjoy it. Like walk around the pits, see how many people get punched in the mouth over something that happened on the track, and come home.
So Chris,
It
they
is
run. So they run from April 17th, and then their last race is August 21st. The Carolina Farm Credit 150 lap modified race, 40 lap sportsman race.
Okay, Bert, you said you've been down there, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I was there on a non-race night as well. The fact that they pit most of the field across the street from the racetrack and bring out the state police to close down the road, there is so much about that place.
And it's
The
on a major
Madhouse.
highway too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably, 20 minutes from Childress Shop? And
Yes. That's why we went over there, because we were at
Maybe-
Childress's before.
It's that close
Yes.
to like Charlotte and all that stuff.
No.
It's maybe
Childress
45 minutes
is
from
almost
Charlotte.
an hour north.
Yeah.
However, you're
Okay.
about 15 minutes away from the world's greatest barbecue joint, Lexington Barbecue.
Ooh, I'm a sucker for barbecue.
Oh, did you go to Lexington?
No, we.
Oh, my God,
we went
my
to
heart hurts.
Jim and Nick's.
Oh.
We went to Jim and Nick's though,
Hurts.
right there in Charlotte.
Hurts.
That is so good.
Lexington Barbecue is the world's greatest barbecue joint.
Tell
in.
that to
I'm
someone in
always up for-
Texas.
When we
Let's
go
go.
down to when we go to World Finals this year, we will go check that place out. Go over to Childress's Vineyard, because that was a lot of fun.
Oh. See, now
my
you just got my wife on board
Sign me up.
with the road trip.
I had that was a great day, and with
Yeah,
the old crew I was with, we started out the day. We had a tour of Dale Earnhardt's shop, the old Richard Childress shop, from Chocolate Myers himself, which was something I will never forget. That was one of the coolest things ever, to have him personally show us around or RCR, the old RCR. And one of the coolest stories he told us is that I'm a big Ford guy. And literally, the second I heard the story, I had to call Pork. And most of you know my uncle; he's a big Ford guy as well. Apparently, they were having so much issue with the Fords back in the 90s on trying to beat them. They built a Chevy motor with Ford heads in it to try and find out where the Fords were beating them at. I got outside that shop. I called Pork and I said, "You're not going to believe what Earnhardt and them did back in the 90s." Like, those bastards did what?
One of the coolest things is when you tour the Richard Childress Racing Museum, that is the original Childress shop.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you can see where they built the car that became the 1990s Chevy Lumina. It has its own little bay where they did R&D.
Yep.
And you think about, Hendrick Motorsports has buildings dedicated to R&D. NASCAR has a whole R&D center. Childress built the 1993, I think it was, Chevy Lumina in literally what amounts to a 2-car wide garage stall.
Yeah, literally.
Totally
Where if
undercover, totally unknown.
If you ever been down there, folks, you see, you know what we're talking about here. But where the cars are at, like all Dale Earnhardt's cars, that's where they build it out of. It's not that big. Where they have like 7 or 8 cars of Dale Earnhardt's. I think they had the car that ran to Japan. The Oreo car was in there. They had a couple other cars in there, but it's not that big.
My favorite Dale Earnhardt car of all time is still sitting there in the shop, untouched from race night. The 96 Atlanta Olympics car.
Yes.
The stars and stripes, there is nothing more American than Dale. Parked right front and center. And there's a lot of history there, too. I mean, Austin Dillon's truck from the first win at Eldora has a prime place of honor. Dale's 500 winner, you almost tear up like thinking about it, because you can sense history. There's places you go, the Baseball Hall of Fame, the Football Hall of Fame, the NASCAR Hall of Fame for that matter. You go to certain parts of the building in Childress, and you think about old clips. The clips of Dale Earnhardt making his own seats. He didn't trust anybody to make his seats.
Chris, I'm going to send you some pictures here if you want to throw up on the site.
Yeah, you got to tweet them.
Here.
Tweet them.
I'll tweet. Yeah, I'll tweet them out here real quick. But there's God, there was just so much down there that day, and they have Austin Dillon 600 win down there. Of course, the Daytona 500 cars down there as well. What else? I just saw a picture here. I was going to talk about it here.
Bert,
when Earnhardt.
Did you happen to go to the Curb Records Museum?
Oh, I have not. I think we were going to try and go there, but we never made it happen.
Hold on.
So
let me
cool.
Let me see if I can find it.
Hold on,
quick.
before we get to that, there.
Oh,
Pete,
there it is.
You know, I don't know if you've been down there recently, Chris, but when you were there, but they have Earnhardt's original hauler in there from when he won the 500. You can go in there and look, check it out.
You can walk right through it.
Chris,
It is so cool.
That brought a tear to my eye. I was not a Dale Earnhardt fan back in the day. That brought a tear
Chris,
to my eye seeing that.
When we were down there, I guess, God, it wasn't last year, the year before the world went to shit. I just tweeted it out on the Highside Hustle if you want to pull it up quick. It was Brian Clausen's asphalt midget car that the owner of that museum purchased somewhere, and it had just gotten to the shop like a day prior.
Oh, I'm a midget.
Like that's
whoa.
Yeah, that was in the very back, like in that the skinnier room where they have all those cars lined up, where they have like freaking Reba's car and shit. I think it was Reba or one of the female country singers' car that they bought, and their agent said they'd get killed in it, so they sold it, and Curb Records seemed to buy it.
One of the other ones.
That bad boy
I have
was
to give
sitting in the
Scott
very
Deal
back.
credit for this. Hopefully, the captain is watching tonight because he tried to burn down Clausen Marshall Racing twice.
I heard about that.
Twice.
I heard about that.
That is another place that I have not yet been to that is absolutely bucket list for me.
Our Indy trip. We're doing it.
Tim Clausen is one of the nicest human beings on earth.
Yes.
We got to talk to him in 2019. We did a Donor Day show. So every year in January, Pennsylvania has Donor Day, basically to raise awareness for organ and tissue donation. Tim gave me almost 2.5 hours. Now, granted, he was driving the entire time, so I'm not sure which USAC race they were going to. But actually, I think it was heading to Tulsa, quite frankly. But 2.5 hours we spent on the phone and talked maybe 15 minutes about racing.
Yeah.
The entire
That's
Clausen
the kind of guy
family,
Tim Clausen is.
Diana, Taylor, they are incredible human beings. That was bucket list for me.
Yeah, when I
go to Indy this year, we're doing that.
Me and my buddy Ryan went out for what was supposed to be the final Hoosier 100 there, and Terre Haute. Before Terre Haute, we stopped at Indy to see the museum, and then after that, we rolled over to Clausen Marshall Racing. Pulled in the parking lot. The shop doors are open. Crew members were getting ready to load cars for Terre Haute. Out of nowhere, I'm like sitting in the parking lot because I didn't know what the heck to do. I didn't know if I should just walk up, knock on the door, and be like, "Hey, I'd like to see the shop," or what have you. But Tim Clausen just walked out the front door, said, "Hey, can I help you guys with something?" Told him who I was and what I was in town for, and he's like, "I got an extra couple minutes here that I can spare," and we must have got the full shop tour of freaking Clausen Marshall Racing for his spare minute was like an hour and a half, and then like at the end of it, I felt bad because he was rushing because a guy like me and one of my drunk buddies made Tim Clausen late for a PR appearance for the Indianapolis 500. I guess he had a appearance with Pippa that he had to get to, and we probably made him late for it. But that's just how nice of a guy he is. Like, absolutely, like Chris said, stand-up human being.
I think when we go out for Indy, Sorry, go ahead.
That trophy room will leave you absolutely speechless.
I
When
believe
you
that.
walk in on the left-hand side, it starts out as the very first thing Brian ever raced and ends all the way back around in the corner with the rocking chair from Indiana Spring Week.
How about the last trophy they won? Whatever that is, sits in a place of honor right in the middle of the trophy room. It could
Why
be
do I think
a
that might be
main
Port Royal?
feature from the Chili Bowl. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a heat race at a go-kart track.
Yeah.
We won that
we're
trophy.
talking
It
about
goes
the very
right here in
last
the
trophy
middle.
that they won.
Yeah, like
Correct.
the
Very
most
last
recent
race that
win.
they won. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you now.
Yep. The most
I thought we were
recent
talking
win.
Brian, my
Doesn't
fault.
matter what it is.
That's awesome.
Tim went through and explained, like, back in the day, like it was one of his first or second, like, ever custom-made race suits. The person who made it actually misspelled his name. And nobody noticed it until Victory Lane.
That's fantastic.
Like,
Okay.
It's just,
So,
it's just like
boys,
little oddball stories
at-
that he throws at you.
before we continue down nostalgia lane here,
Okay.
to the 8 viewers that are still currently watching, you are absolute
Thank you.
freaking legends. Thank you for putting up with our bullshit and stuff here tonight.
One of them's Cold Harris, so
Yeah,
there's enough
one of them
bullshit
is
to
me
deal with throughout the year.
because I have the feed pulled up.
Hey,
Let's run down the rest of the news here before we bore people to death.
yes.
I
know
mean,
we've been talking a lot
we're
here.
only
Anyway,
supposed to be an hour-long show, and we've seemed to run to closer to 2 hours. So maybe we should
it's
get
for it's for
done what we need
podcast
to get
purposes.
done.
Chris. It's for podcast purposes,
Yeah.
Adam. That's what it is. Yeah.
I
Anyway,
understand that, but maybe for once we should,
hell no, this is too much
wrap
fun.
get
You
get
knuckleheads
this show
could not
on the
do
road.
an hour. There's not a chance.
No,
We have too much to talk
I'm
about. We
too
have too much
long-winded, and
We have too much fun. And hopefully people are enjoying it. But yeah, this good show tonight so far, by the way.
Yes. Anyway, let's get into this because I know we're going to get into discussion on this last thing I have marked up. First of all, World of Outlaws, they
Right.
resume this weekend at Volusia and East Bay. World of Outlaws Morton Billy Late Model Series got canceled at Duck River for Friday night because of the rain throughout the week. But they will start out on Saturday night at Smoky Mountain Speedway on Saturday night for a return of the World of Outlaw Morton Billy Late Model Series. Of course, this weekend here in Pennsylvania, we had Lincoln. They're running with the 410 sprint cars at Saturday at 2 p.m. With, I believe, an open practice afterwards. Sunday afternoon, Port Royal Speedway opens up with the Weicker Livestock 410 sprint cars. Along with them, the River Valley Builders Super Late Models as well. So that's always a great doubleheader when you get those two together. Coming up this weekend between Lincoln and also up at the Speed Palace Port Royal Speedway. Also,
First Pennsylvania
racetrack news. Yes, Pennsylvania. Well, the true double can happen next week, and we'll get into that in a second here. But the true
I know.
double can happen next weekend if it works out.
I know,
Selinsgrove Ford owner Todd Brenner is joined the Selinsgrove promotional team, so that's a great gig for them because Selinsgrove Ford such a big part of that community up there in the whole town of Selinsgrove, also a big part of the track up there. They always do a lot of great things for the community, but also the racetrack there. So it just kind of makes sense for Todd to come in there. So Selinsgrove is definitely in some very, very good hands with Todd joining on there. So congrats to him. So let's get into it here. The Short Track Super Series, presented by Sunoco Race Fuels and Bob Hill Sportswear. Georgetown
Chris is
and
already
Fonda,
smiling.
and I believe Utica Rome might be on this list. Don't quote me on that one there. But will be broadcasted on Flow coming up here.
Utica Rome will not.
Okay, Utica Rome will not. Sorry.
Utica
okay.
Rome
So that
will
was my fault
remain
there.
on DirtTrackDigest.tv. And
Okay. Now, before you say anything, Chris,
yes,
let me say this. I think as far as the race fans, this is great.
I like it. As solely a race fan, I like it. Now carry on, and then we'll pick back up later.
Yes, I think as a race fan, it's great. You add into your Flow subscription. You don't got to pay for anything else on top of it. And plus, I think the quality of broadcast, don't get me wrong, I thought the Dirt Track broadcast was pretty good, but Flow, they have it down pat. Their broadcast is outstanding, and I think that
Ooh,
in my mind, they are. For my shitty
you are
internet connection, that's good.
cranking him up, Bert. You are absolutely
that's my
firing
plan.
him up, and he is like.
I'm trying.
I could tell
I'm
just
trying
by
to get
his
fired
face
here,
that he
folks.
is on the 18th. He is on the 18th green, like going for fucking
He's Happy
birdie.
Gilmore.
And-
You're home. Don't you
Okay.
know you're home?
I will offer my 2 cents as a
I'm gonna
video
just put the
provider.
mic away and let Chris go.
We are fighting a similar battle. I will say it that way. I can't name names and any of that kind of stuff, but we are fighting a similar battle as to what Dirt Track Digest just had to fight. The crew that puts together the Dirt Track Digest broadcast is the loser in this deal by a very, very wide margin. Flow Racing, for everything good from the fan side of things, is hurting the sport in the long run. They are not paying people what they're worth. Their production standards are about as low as they can get. And when you look at something like the All-Stars or USAC, and they think one camera on top of the tower and a wireless infield camera is all you need to cover a major touring series, they're hurting the sport. And I will be the first one to jump up and down and preach. At the same time, I have to say, there has never been a better time to be a fan of dirt track racing. You can get everything you could possibly want. If you are a fan of wing sprint cars, wingless sprint cars, late models, Northeast modifieds, UMP modifieds, it doesn't matter what it is. You can get it on Flow.
Yes.
Ultimately, the rights payments that are being paid now are the tobacco money of the 70s and 80s. Those payments will not last forever, and track promoters are thinking they have more than what their product is actually worth. I'll end the rant that way. But if you're a fan of watching dirt racing on your phone or on your computer or on your TV, enjoy it, because you got about 2 to 3 years left of that before it all goes away.
Ooh. There we go. There you have it. I mean, Chris knows a lot about this stuff here, so we'll, with doing this, so he has a better idea.
And call me out
what
in the
Adam and I
comments, by
probably
the
do.
way. If you're a Flow person watching the broadcast tonight, call me out in the comments. I'm more than happy to dance on this one.
I think I might have to go start drinking.
A lot of things are going down pretty good tonight, folks.
Bert just choked on himself, and Adam might have done a spit take.
I really like it as a fan.
I love it so
obviously. Much. You get the best of every racing discipline in one spot.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a Flow subscriber.
Yeah. Me too. The nice thing is, I mean, it's gonna hurt the sport long run, like you said. Short term, it's nice for the fans because, especially, I mean, not to make it COVID, but people are already strapped on cash to begin with. Most of us,
And plus, $150 a year for can't Flow. Go out of their house right now. I mean, there are people that are generally sick and cannot get out.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
$150 a year for Flow, plus $39.99 a month Dirt Vision, unless you do the astronomical, what is it, like fucking $299, $249 for the platinum membership?
Yeah.
If I wanted to be a platinum member on the World of Outlaws, I would go work for somebody.
You still have to pay for the Dirt Vision subscription.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly. I'd still have to pay
for it. Here we go. Ready? Here's our first comment coming in. Linda Collins saying, I love Flow because I can watch racing in other states. Yes.
Agreed.
If you're a race fan, there is nothing better than Flow right now. Because do you get the Outlaws? No. But you got the All-Stars.
And
you get the big
PA.
blocks. Yes.
You got
you
USAC.
get the late models.
All three.
You've got USAC.
All of
yes.
the USAC. Not just
Here's
the midgets,
the problem,
you have the Silver
though.
Crown, so on and so forth.
I cannot talk specifics because I don't know them. However, based on my knowledge of the business, the rights payment that went to the Short Track Super Series is probably somewhere in the range of between $50,000 and $75,000. You're talking the deal with Port Royal. Call me out, Earl. It's about $50,000 a year. I know what the numbers are. The numbers are unsustainable. When you have tracks, and I'm talking kart tracks, micro sprint tracks, that kind of deal, when they're getting offered $10,000 to $25,000 a year in rights payments, the value isn't there. So at some point, the money's going to stop.
It's not going to last forever. And, like, yes, there was Flow before COVID. Yes, there was Dirt Vision before COVID. Yes, there was other ways to watch racing prior to COVID. But in the same aspect, how much of Flow's current business is directly related to COVID and people not being able to leave the house to go to the races? How much of it? They're not spending money at the racetrack. They're spending money for a flow account. Or, same with Dirt Vision. People use Dirt Vision every month for the same reason. They can't get out of the house, so they're going to watch their racing one way or another.
I will say this. I've got the comment from Earl here on the screen. Come on the show. Let's talk. Let's dance. I'm completely ready to say the numbers are unsustainable, and the money that is being paid out now to racetracks will not be paid out in that same fashion 3 years from now. There's a reason that all of these deals are 3-year deals, because people have balloon payments coming. You're going to see, I'll call it out, Flow Racing is going public probably in that 3-year time frame. They're owned by the Discovery Channel and a hedge fund. You have to pay back the hedge fund. So I know this is high-level-ish economics. It's the reality of things.
So should we start looking into Flow Racing stonks or what?
No.
Stonks, yes.
No, because the deals they have are not worth the subscription fee.
No, stonks are bad, Chris. If you're in the meme world, stonks are bad.
Well,
Stonks.
Yeah. Stonks, yeah. But I wouldn't call Flow a stonk. That's the whole thing, though.
No.
Flow has a
They're
very
good now.
sustainable business model.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to
'Cause
go out of business. It's just that the payments to the racetracks won't be what they are now.
The one very, very good thing that Flow has behind them is the fact that it's not just all about racing. You can get on there and watch just about anything under the Flow Sports Pavilion, where Dirt Vision, that's always going to be there because you have the Outlaws.
That's wholly owned. You have to, when you're talking about racing streaming, you kind of have to ignore Dirt Vision completely, because that's a wholly
that is their own
thing
entire
within World Racing
entity.
Group. But Flow
So you don't
Racing
ever have to
is
worry
not
about that.
getting local tracks at the same rate they were, because they know the headache's not worth it.
Imagine what that broadcast center looks like on like a Saturday night in
Do you want me to show you?
mid-August. Well,
You want me to show you
I know
what a
we-
Flow
we-
Racing Center looks like? I'll show
Sure.
you my setup. It's done out
And
of
then
people's
add that-
homes.
Is it?
It's yes.
Like it's not
because
just
this is
one
why
big
this is
thing?
why the Flow business model works, because you can pay somebody nothing and get quality on what the viewer perceives as quality on the receiving end. You can turn around. I can pluck cameras from 25 different racetracks across America, feed 25 different feeds right now from my office alongside my garage. That's the way streaming works.
True.
The expense
It's
is the
it's
people.
very interesting.
It's huge.
Yeah.
But you can't pay somebody $100 or $150 a night to shoot auto racing. I won't leave my house for $150. And that's what Flow pays their camera people. So
Yeah. And they don't get enough. Like, you have guys
And
like Tyler McKim, who is very good at what he does. And I'll give
Yes.
Tyler a shout out. He's very, very good at what he does. And he's also a hell of a producer. When I was at Port Royal, he did a hell of a job producing that show. And also on my old program, he's very good at what he does. He does not get the money that he deserves. He does a lot for that company. And I think you're right there, Chris.
there are too many people that work
Now,
too
granted,
hard.
I will say this, college kid, whatever, for, he's doing what he can for a job right now, but,
Yeah.
he should be getting more
$150
for
That's what
the
you're
amount of
going to
work
make
that he does. And
your entire production, your entire business is going to rely on a college kid hoping he doesn't get a better offer.
that's what
I mean,
they're
let's
leaning
call
on right
this
now, it
out.
feels like.
Brett Dio did a pretty spectacular thing in hiring Chris Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Moore is an extremely talented young guy behind the mic,
Yes.
Yeah.
and he has a
Who will be,
mind for the business side.
He will be on this show in a few weeks, by the way. We do have him booked way out, but Chris Moore will be on this show in a few weeks.
Let's go. I'm.
Okay.
Do you
can-
have
Yeah.
questions?
Yeah, really. Who has questions? Put them in the comments. Let's go.
Yes, please.
No, I
I've offered
was
the
speaking
opportunity
about
for
everybody
one
else.
person
I
to
was-
dance, and he doesn't want to. So, who else wants
I
to
was
comment?
more so speaking of you, because as soon as we said that, your Bert said that we were gonna have him on, your eyes and your face lit up like a little kid in a candy
Oh
store.
my God. I will say this. Chris he has the potential to be a generational talent.
Yes.
Multi
Johnny Gibson?
talent. Yes.
Yes.
Generational talent.
Except
He won't
Chris,
go there.
you gotta love sprint cars, buddy.
I say
You gotta love
he won't go
sprint
there,
cars.
but yes.
I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there on his ass.
This isn't about calling people out. I mean, I know I've given Earl some shit tonight, but this is not about calling people out. This is, I mean, hell, we have two guys who've been fired as announcers hosting the show, or one hosting, one producing.
And then me.
You've never been fired. You are our Jeremy Clarkson. You've never been fired from anything.
No. I mean, I've had credentials one time at Eldora. Everything else, every other photo I've ever taken has been by sheer luck standing behind the fence in the infield somewhere, or to the big thanks of my best friend in the entire world, Colt, and the entire Rogers family for letting some fucking idiot like me go down in the infield every once in a while when we weren't racing to take a picture. So,
Okay, we're getting answers here, and Tyler's checking in. He says they don't pay $150, and so he says, I don't know the flow model. I'm in the
flow.
business. I know what the flow model is. The flow model is acquire as much property as you possibly can and bury everybody else in the process. It's no different than, think about the way beer was sold 20 years ago. You bought Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors. You drank in quantity. And today we drink in quality. Flow is currently operating on the front end of that model. Quantity. They're not approaching quality everywhere yet. You might get quality on the show here and there, but nobody is offering what the smaller providers are. Dirt Track Digest, even us at the National Racing Network, we shot Lanco, 2-man cameras up top, and minimum 1 wireless camera down trackside. That's not what Flow is doing for every racetrack. You're lucky to get 1 camera.
This is a fun show. This has turned into a really fun show. I was not expecting to go in this direction by the end of the night.
Blow it up.
Oh, blow it up. Let's
Here,
go.
we got one more
God.
comment coming in. Colt Harris says, "Don't let what? I
Don't let what?
Harris.
What? Spit it out.
Harris.
Spit it out, Cole.
Words, Colt. Words, senor. I know your sausage fingers
Learn to use them,
aren't
buddy.
working too great on that new cell phone of yours, but
Oh, well, he's
Okay,
a
guys,
valuable.
Tyler's checking
Oh.
in saying, shaking my head, one camera. How many shows do you watch on Flow that are one camera? Not the big stuff. No.
Oh boy.
Oh, here we go. Colt checking in.
Why you been fired from? Oh, is that
Okay,
is
so
that
Bert
true?
has been fired, apparently.
all right. So I have fired from doing tires for what, all of 20 minutes? The amount of the time it took me to get from the race shop down to the British distributor and back. I wouldn't call that fired. I call that a layoff.
File for unemployment, buddy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna
Okay.
do that 20 minutes on my pay stub.
I will give you guys your show back here, but I'm sticking to my guns on this. Ultimately, Flow Racing is going to hurt the sport of dirt track racing. That's where I'll leave it.
All right.
Have fun.
Well,
Okay.
thanks.
Goodbye.
We'll round the dogs up now. So, all right, there it is. There goes Chris's soapbox. Oh, that's a good segment. That's a good segment for the show. Chris's soapbox.
By the way,
Oh,
I
boy.
win. Thank you, Linda.
I wouldn't call it a win,
All right.
but it's definitely one in the column.
It's entertainment. I'm going to call it entertainment. We'll
Oh
leave it
yeah,
at that there.
yeah. We are solely here for
so-
people's entertainment.
Oh boy. So anyway,
Anybody
All
who
right,
wants to
yeah.
debate
Anywho.
me on this, you've got a platform. We will do a special show, you and me, 1-to-1. Let's go. I'm ready to dance. Everybody from the CEO of Flow to Chet Christner or anybody else who wants to debate that model, I'm down to go.
now I would like just to have Chet on the show just in general, just because of his racing mind.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think that's going to happen now.
As long as this. even if
Gee,
this
thanks,
conversation-
Chris.
Well, maybe not with you, Chris, but with me, with us, probably we can make it happen. So,
Eh,
but whatever. We'll see. We'll see down the road here. So,
Yeah.
boy, making friends all
Anywho,
night long.
Bert,
here on
where
the
were
Highside
we?
Hustle. I don't even remember. I don't. Adam, let's do this. Let's pick who's going to win up at the Port Royal Speedway on Sunday afternoon here. I know the temps are looking a little bit cooler. So that's going to be, I know it was kind of like this last year, maybe a little bit warmer. You're probably looking at about 40 degrees, maybe around that 40, 45 mark up there on Sunday afternoon there. Daytime show. Port's normally very, very good. Daytime Seats Timely does a phenomenal job with the track up there. So last year you saw what TJ Stutz did until unfortunately it blew them over there. Corey Eliason came in there, ran it, but it's. I'm thinking I don't know what you're going to get for local guys. I don't know what you're going to get for touring guys coming in with the cold situation. Do guys want to go risk their motor up there on the big track too? So what do you think? Who could we be talking about here coming up here on as our victor here on Sunday night?
It's hard to go against Logan Wagner for Sunday. Saturday, pill draw. You see how
Yep.
shitty the pill draw was for Double D last week. For pretty much all of the big names minus Crimes. It's a crapshoot. You walk in, you can be Double D, you can pull number 1, or you can pull 99. Just the way it goes, and you have to deal with the cards that it's dealt, depending on what the track does. I mean, if it's a good racy track, I'd like to see Matt Campbell win. He showed speed. Like, that speed in that car came out of absolutely nowhere because, let's be honest, I'm big Monteith fan, but that car has just been lacking speed for the last little bit. Not sure exactly what happened there. Maybe it was time for the thing that everyone in motorsports really dislikes, and that's change. Nobody likes it, but
Teresa, you bring
sometimes
up
it's inevitable and it needs to happen.
You're exactly right. Teresa, you bring up a good point there. The weather, we'll see what happens up there on Sunday. I know that it surprised a lot of people. I think Lincoln ran on Sunday or on last Saturday. So I'm not going to say never, but if the temperatures aren't going to get any better,
I
it might not
I
hurt
think
people off for another.
I think the thing that really helped Lincoln last weekend is the fact that the sun was out at the time of the
And when
time
it
of
was
the
out,
first
it
hot
was
lap session.
beautiful.
It was. It
Yeah,
was absolutely gorgeous. But man, once that sun went away and the clouds came in, God, did it get brutally cold.
Well,
It
that's what you
wasn't
get for
cold
wearing
enough
shorts,
that you
babe.
couldn't. I had muck boots on. My legs were covered. Leave me alone. But no,
But
I
anyway,
mean,
yes.
it's a crapshoot. I mean, you're probably going to look at lower car counts. I'm not going to say tremendously low because there is a few
I'm
teams
still
in
saying full
Pennsylvania that
fields.
could have full fields or maybe slightly under. You know, Port Royal probably get a full field. Lincoln maybe 20 to 24 cars, somewhere in that neck of the woods. I don't think you're going to get
I
anything
think
over.
that's a good call for both tracks.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get anything over than that. Or if you're, I mean, of course, the big teams are going to do the double, like Double D, the 24 car with Madsen, maybe a couple others race both nights. Or you're going to have the drivers that just get the I'm going to race Saturday or I'm going to race the Sunday deal. It really just all depends. But honestly, who this time of year wants to go through that possibility of hurting a motor and then not being able to race again until maybe June, maybe July, maybe not at all? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure most teams nowadays have more than one motor, but you figure they probably have one really good motor and one motor that's kind of just been sitting around. It's needed a rebuild for a couple of years now, and they use it as a spare. But
yeah, I agree there. But anyway, I do like your Matt Campbell pick for Saturday. If Lincoln runs, I like your Matt Campbell pick. Showed a lot of speed up there. I think we're going to be in the month of young guns here with the way as long as the pill draw goes right, that's what it's going to all be about until we get handicapping going here back in probably April. But I like Matt Campbell. Port, I'm going to say probably I like Logan in this situation too. It'd be good for him to get his first win since 2019. That was my next pick, Sisney, but also Anthony Macri, just how good he's been at Port Royal.
Oh God, yeah, he was on a tear last year.
Yeah, and, you know, 6 wins, 6 wins in a row, including All-Star win and Speedway win. I mean,
yeah, you'd be super hard pressed to see anyone who's better recently than Macri at Port Royal. For whatever reason, he just figured out a way to get around that place. Other than obviously,
I think
Kyle
a lot of that
Larson
has to do with Jimmy Shellsworth. Jimmy Shellsworth coming on board.
Oh yeah, that was probably the best decision that team could have ever done is hired him. Honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree there. Jimmy is, and they're such a great crew there. Anthony, he's a quiet young kid. I mean, I would love to have him on the show here, but I know it's hard. It's hard to get a word out of him sometimes. But he's a good kid, and he can drive like he lets his foot do the talking. It's kind of like what I always said about Greg Hodges. Greg was very quiet, but he let his foot do the talking, and when it talked, it yelled. And Macri, I feel like it's the same way. And this kid's going to be up for a great career, but I think a lot of it starts with Jimmy Shellsworth, and Chris, his boy Chris, does a hell of a job up there too. I think it's going to be a 3-dog race. I think, throw Danny in the mix too. Why not? He's been very good at Port Royal, especially in the daytime shows. I know during the Labor Day Classic up there, he's always good.
Yeah, he's really good day shows up there. He's somehow figured that place out.
Yeah. Teresa says, were we surprised to see Lafferty at Lincoln last week? A little bit. I didn't know what was going on with Rick. I was very surprised to see him pull out.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised at that also. So, forever who's watching still, what race are you most looking forward to in the upcoming weeks? I mean, personally, I'm really looking forward to that modified show at Selinsgrove.
I'm looking forward to Williams Grove opener. I know modifieds at Selinsgrove, that's a good one, but There's nothing. I am so excited for the Grove opener. Listen,
Yeah.
it's my favorite track in the area. I know the racing's not great, but sometimes up there, but it's just my favorite track. The people there are so great. You have a lot of just a fun time there. The atmosphere is the history's there. There's nothing else like it. So I am so excited for that Sunday show at the Grove. And think about that too. That Sunday show at the Grove. That's 1 year since the world went to shit. That's why I think this show is so important, because that's one of the last times we all got together, and before the shutdown really started.
True that, and like you said, man, like there's something about pulling into Williams Grove on a Friday night. I mean, I know, granted, it's nice to live where we live because we have options. If you want to go see Modified, you head to Diamond on a Friday. If you want to go see a sprint car, you go to the Williams Grove. Being a fan of both equally, I might skip the Grove every once in a while just to go to Diamond and go back home to the Modifieds. I mean, plus, not to mention, as historic as Williams Grove is, do we really feel like driving an hour and a half to Williams Grove every week? I mean, I know you've done it for the last how many years, but you were kind of sort of obligated in that aspect. But it'd be nice to see you spread your wings and fly away, my little bird.
I am looking forward to that. I'm looking to be at Big Diamond a lot more on Friday nights, but there's something about Williams Grove on a Friday night with the 410s ripping around there, and the people that you have, the friends that I made up on Beer Hill. There is nothing like it. There is absolutely nothing like it up there.
Sprint car racing.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Mother Church. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna assume Knoxville is gonna take the Mother Church title away for that once we see it.
Oh yeah, but no, I mean, but still, no.
Or do you call Williams Grove? Or do you call Williams Grove the Mother Church and Knoxville the Mecca? But then again, you'd also call Eldora the Mecca because you literally just drive through a fucking cornfield and out pops Eldora.
Eldora might be the Field of Dreams,
as we said on a Friday night,
and Knoxville might have the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, but that building belongs in central Pennsylvania. There is no better 410 racing on the planet than we get week in and week out right here in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
True.
Absolutely,
True.
Chris. You nailed it right in the head there. That's why Williams Grove is basically one of the epicenters and the churches of this sport. So, all right, folks, that was eventful. So, anyone got anything to wrap this show up with? Because we're almost going on 2 hours.
I popped up a comment. Someone said they're looking forward to Action Track USA. Not entirely sure who it was, but I'm definitely looking forward to the shenanigans at Action Track. That 410 show is going to be absolutely wild.
They announced a monster truck
really
show
looking
this
forward to the Kutztown's putting together a really strong schedule, and I like it. I think maybe sometime this weekend I'm going to take a ride down there. I don't know if you want to come with me, Bert, or something. We'll go for a ride down. I just want to check the place out. I want to see the new catch fence. All right.
Yeah, I will say this. I am already working the everybody versus Flo angle. If you guys want to debate, let us know in the comments. I'll say it that way.
Go ahead.
If you want to hear the business side of this, let's go. Other than that, Cup and trucks at Las Vegas this weekend. That one's going to be fun. We get the World of Outlaws back. We got a little taste of racing season over the last 6 or so weeks. It's really time to go now, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for it, boys. So
I couldn't be more ready.
Yeah.
Except for this weekend. I don't know if my little fingers are going to be leaving the house with my camera to deal with the cold.
That's what gloves are for.
Either way,
cameras that work.
Yeah, I mean, Bert, if I don't go this weekend, you're more than welcome to borrow my camera. Just
I will.
just
I
saying.
might. I might take you up on that too.
Or
Pig. So,
or I might. I know I'm definitely not gonna stand out in the cold both days. Call me a pussy if you want. I don't really care, but I'm to the point in my life where I don't give a shit, and if I think
You're
that I
old.
don't feel like standing out, if I don't feel like standing out in the cold to watch a race and get drunk, I'm gonna do it from the comfort of my home or just take a nap and not do it at all. I don't
That's fair.
really particularly care.
Fair. Well, boys,
So
let me tell you something. I am not ashamed of you boys. This has been a fun show tonight. By the way, thanks a lot to Tim Wagaman, our guest here tonight. Great interview with him.
That was almost an hour ago. Well, an hour and a half ago.
But still,
so
fun interview with him. Glad to have Tim on the show.
It was.
And,
it was.
We will. We'll see what happens coming up this next week here. It's gonna be fun. We should have a fun weekend of racing here if the Mother Nature and the cold doesn't get us in here. So other than that,
we'll have more
racing
to talk about regardless.
Yeah.
Because regardless, we'll have the Outlaws to talk about unless we get typical Florida rain. So.
East Bay is gonna be fun. Let's just say that East Bay is gonna be a lot of fun Saturday night.
Yes, I agree.
So, and I think Donnie wins that.
Ooh, yeah, he's going to be tough to beat.
I like Donnie.
I mean,
I like
how many
Donnie
wins
for
did
that
he
one.
have with the All-Stars? 1, 2?
He picked up
Or
about 2.
He did pick up the... Did he? Was he leading the third and then broke, or was that at Volusia when he broke?
He picked up one at Screven, and then he picked up the other one at East Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm picking
I don't know. I still think it's going to come down to the big three, predominantly for the Outlaw Championship.
Well,
sweet shots.
We got about another 7 months to debate that, Pig. So don't worry. We got
I
time
know.
for that one,
I know. It's a long season. I'm trying not to put the cart before the horse, but early, that's what it's looking like. Those three are going to run away with it, and it's their world, and everyone else just has to deal with it. This is true, but we talked about it last week. They're the absolute best at pivoting. Yes, it took them a little while to be able to do it, but we're going back racing, and I cannot wait. Anyway, let's get the hell out of here, Bert.
Let's get the hell out of here. I got to hit the bathroom, too. So, anyway, folks, thank you so much for joining us here on the Highside Hustle. We will see you guys next week here for another great episode. We had a blast here tonight. Once again, thanks to Tim Wagaman for joining us here on the Hustle here after finish up his much-deserving media week here. And then we'll see what we got next week. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about Bristol Dirt as they get ready to kick off their big week coming up here. We'll preview Williams Grove's opener. We'll recap Port Royal and Lincoln this past weekend here, and we'll get ready to see what the Outlaws did over the weekend here. We'll talk a little NASCAR, and who knows what our shenanigans we'll get into. So for my co-host Adam Rubright, Chris Graham, our executive producer, my name is Bert Wojcik. Keep on hustling, folks. We will see you guys next week right here on the Highside Hustle on the National Racing Network.
This Independence Day weekend, kick your party off with a bang. DeWeather Center presents the first annual DeWeather Cares Charity Softball Classic presented by the National Racing Network. The Palmerton Boobies, DeWeather Center Bluecocks, Blue Mountain I-95ers, Pocono Front Platers, Schuylkill County Crackers, Reading Nurses, Catasauqua Blue Tits, and Beltsville Lake Monsters will take the field in Emerald. Find out more on Facebook at DeWeather Center. DeWeather Center, offensively accurate.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
At 600cc Performance, our roots run deep in CC racing. A leader in fuel injection, dyno tuning, wiring, and diagnostics. With over 15 years of experience in building and tuning, you can count on us to get you to the winner's circle. Whether it is diagnostics, sales, or service, 600cc Performance is your source for everything CC racing. Find out more at 600ccperformance.com.